Happy Spookies and happy Friday the 13th, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, having a most excellent day. And yes, Friday the 13th is upon us. And I wanted to try to do a ranking for all the movies. And I was going to try to watch them all throughout the week. But between just going back to work and I started working a regular schedule and then just taking care of the baby, it's too much. I can't right now. I just can't. So I want to go ahead and talk about a movie that I feel gets way too much hate. And I totally understand why it would, but I don't know. After giving it a second chance, I really enjoy the remake of Friday the 13th, which came out in 2009, directed by Marcus Nispel, who actually went and directed before this the Texas Chainsaw remake, which is not bad. I will say that right now. It is not a bad remake. He also did Conan the Barbarian remake. I have not seen that one. I recently watched Conan last year or so I haven't seen that one. I also want to go ahead and credit the writers. We have Damian Shannon and Marcus Swift. Now, this is a freaking movie that gets so much hate, and I just don't understand why. I mean, I kind of do, because when this dropped, I was one of those freaking stupid, bratty, spoiled people. I don't know what you want to say. I was like, dude, why are they remaking this movie? And you know what? I was such a poser back then. I'm pretty freaking new to horror. Well, not lie. I grew up not really watching it. I didn't watch the Friday the 13th movies until way later on in my life. And around the remake came out, I'm positive that I haven't even probably seen the original in 2009. I don't know how old I was. I was fucking a teenager. But I was one of those people that knew about the original movie and was just like, well, why do they have to remake it? Why? And I'll admit it. I don't care. I was a freaking brat. I was dumb. I didn't know what I was doing. But I gave it a watch, I think a year and a half, 2 years ago recently. And I was just like, wow, this is fucking good. And I want to go ahead and talk about the movie. So spoilers right now. I'm just throwing that out there. If you haven't seen the remake, go ahead and watch it, because I'm going to try to go through the movie. And I don't know, it's a fun movie. There's a lot. What I really enjoyed about it a lot is how they kind of compact the first 3 or 4 movies into one movie. Now, a lot of people say they didn't like it because it felt two separate movies almost, because of the prologue is so long. It's probably one of the longest prologues to an opening title sequence in a movie that I can think of, and on Friday the 13th for sure. And you get invested into this first group of people, and then later on we have a whole nother group of people. So people are like, oh, blah, 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 I don't like it because there's too many people. Another thing I heard is the characters are so awful in this movie. Like, dude, bro, what? Are you supposed to like every single character in a fucking Friday the 13th movie? Yeah, we have movies that gave us people like Shelly, Jenny, the final girls and stuff. But there's also tons of shitty people. What's that dude in part 5 that acts the other dude for a chocolate bar? Vic, I think. What the hell? Look at that asshole right there. I don't know. That was just a stupid complaint, in my opinion, when I heard people say, oh, just the characters are awful. What the fuck? Are you supposed to like these dudes? Plus, this movie gave us one of the best characters in the entire series, and I will die on that hill. Trent is a fucking treasure. Yeah, it's Jared Padalecki. I mean, do you need another reason why not to watch this? It's a bummer that Kane Hodder isn't in this. I'll go ahead and say that right now. It is a real bummer. I really enjoy Kane Hodder's performance. He is just such a unique Jason, in my opinion. And I know other people favor other ones like Ted White and stuff like that. But honestly, Kane Hodder is my favorite. That being said, Derek Mayers, however you say that, is a fucking boss in this movie. I love this survivalist type of Jason, dude. He's at one point he does a kill with a bow and arrow, and I remember first watching it, that's fucking stupid. Why? But then I started thinking, I'm like, well, no, he's survivalist. Of course, he probably hunts for food all the fucking time. He's got traps and everything. So in the beginning of the movie, you have the first set of people. Okay, we're getting too ahead of ourselves. Survivalist Jason is a fucking badass. I don't give a damn. So the movie opens up with the opening credits, basically bringing the first movie into play. It's the very end of the first movie, you haven't seen the original, where you find out the killer is Mrs. Voorhees, and she's basically telling the final girl, oh, you're the last one, I've killed them all, blah, 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 blah. And then the final girl in this movie ends up, chopping her head off. But then we also find out that Jason witnessed the entire incident happen from fucking in the bush or something, I don't know. Fucking tree hugger. So yeah, the counselor ends up beheading her. Jason's right there just watching the whole incident. And yeah, he ends up walking over there and he picks up this little locket, which will come into play later on. And that was in 1980. We are now in present day. Now, this group of people I thought was just fun. Honestly, they're out there camping, but they also have a ulterior motive, because one of them was given some information that there's a patch of weed growing somewhere out there. And their goal is to go up there, nab it all, and sell it, because they're going to be fucking super rich. I mean, I don't know how rich they're... like, bro, you got to have connections to want to be that rich with weed. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know. The dude with the glasses, he's got this awesome moment at the beginning where like three of them sitting down in the campfire, and behind him is the dude's girlfriend, like, you know, showing her tits, but he doesn't see. And then the dude's like, all right, dude, you got to get out of here. You gotta go, bro. So he takes the hand and he goes for a walk, and we have an awesome little scene. I love it, where he's singing this song. I can't remember right now, but it's like motorist. But this group of people also focuses on one particular person in the group, and she is the sister of a brother. Later on, we will find out, Jared Padalecki. But she's there because she takes care of her mom, and she just finally got away just for a little bit. Her mom's sick. So her and her boyfriend end up separating from the group, and they end up discovering Crystal Lake, Camp Crystal Lake. It's abandoned now because of what happened in the 80s. So yeah, they're just kind of being nosy, looking around this abandoned camp. And then all of a sudden, Jason ends up attacking them. It's freaking crazy, dude. This opening sequence shows you just how brutal and tactical this Jason is, because he's already set up his traps over at their campsite. Meanwhile, he's taking care of these people at the Crystal Lake camp. Meanwhile, while they're attacked, they end up, what's her name? The sister ends up escaping. The boyfriend of hers fucking just gets killed right off the bat. When she gets back, you know, homegirl just got like burned to death from a fucking campfire hanging upside down in a sleeping bag. And then you got the other dude, he's like stuck in a bear trap, right? So he's calling over, they're like, hey, help, help. So she comes over to help him. Here we have one of the greatest scenes, in my opinion. I fucking love the way Jason is just running up behind her. She doesn't know. He is so stunned, he cannot even, just absolutely frozen. Gets a fucking machete to the head. Then we have the girl, the sister, she's like trying to like crawl backwards, and you just have this awesome image of Jason just running up to her with a machete, and he's about to fucking just hack her down, and it just cuts to black, and you just have the title sequence. You know, a lot of people say, oh, that's like the best part of the whole movie, because it loses its momentum. But you know what? I will say this right now, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate. I 100% probably, like, if I had to choose which one I'm going to watch, I'm going to watch the remake. I think I prefer it a little bit more. It's a lot more entertaining. The original, don't get me wrong, I understand what it is, what it did for the genre, and everything forward, okay? Don't get me wrong. Back then in 1980, watching this probably would have blew my fucking mind. It definitely holds a place in horror history, and that can never be taken away. But I am just saying that I personally prefer this movie over the original. Anyway, 6 weeks later, we're introduced to Jared Padalecki, or as I'm going to just go ahead and call him, Sammy, from he's Sam Winchester from Supernatural, okay? So yeah, we're introduced to Sammy here. He's on his bicycle, and he's looking for his sister because it's been 6 weeks, no call, no show, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And at the same time, we're introduced to a new set of people. We have Trent, we have Lawrence, we have Chewie. Shout out to Chewie. I really, really like this guy. Chewie was so fucking awesome. I can't remember. I've seen this actor in a few other movies. And there was this one about like a bunch of high school kids are gonna like cheat on their like SATs or something. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe Cheaters. I don't know. I think it has a young Scarlett Johansson in it. I forgot who was the main guy in that. Maybe, I don't remember. But I remember those dudes. I remember going to the theaters and seeing that movie, I think. We have the new group of people. They're heading to a gas station to pick up some water, some gas, you know, basic stuff. While they're in line, though, Jared Padalecki's in front of him, and he's talking to the clerk, just trying to get some information. If he has a picture, have you seen this person? I just can't stand Trent. You gotta hate, it's like a hate-love relationship with Trent. And even his girlfriend, like, it's like, oh, what the fuck, bro? He's just like, he keeps tapping Sammy, and Sam's like, okay, hold on, bro. And then he taps him one more time. He's like, what's up, dude? You gonna buy something? You've been up here talking this whole fucking time. Like, bro, are you like, no chill, dude. No chill. I hate people like that, dude. I've encountered people like that at my work, dude. It's so frustrating. And even Sammy says something under breath, like, yeah, I guess I'm an asshole. And Trent's just like, what's up, dude? You okay? You got a problem? You good? You good, bro? And Sammy's like, yeah, I'm cool. Just, I'm not your bro. And his girlfriend tries to tell him something, and this fool has the audacity to be like, what? This guy's being a dick. Even Sammy is like, yeah, I'm clearly the one being a dick. Oh, dude, there are people out there just like Trent, and it blows my mind. So anyways, they're all headed over to Trent's like dad's rich ass cabin for like a weekend getaway. You know, they're gonna party, drink, they have a boat they're gonna take out. You know who I kind of liked as well was that Lawrence guy. He was like iffy. There's a really cringy part with him where they find out they don't really have service where they're at. So the one girl's like, oh shit, I got no service. So he kind of starts flipping out. He's like, what, are you kidding me? I gotta do business this weekend. So she's like, you know, whoa, what kind of business? He's like, oh, I'm trying to start a record label, you know, music. And she presumes it's rap, so he gets a little defensive. He's like, oh, why you gotta go racial? You know, just because I'm black, I can't listen to Green Day. The reason I say it's cringe is I'm just like, oh, why Green Day, bro? I'm just so... You could have just said like, oh, because I'm black, I don't listen to any other type of music. But the fact that he just threw Green Day out there, I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. Maybe old Green Day's sick, you know, Dookie. But he wasn't bad. He was an interesting character. There's a funny part after they get to the cabin. They're all just like settling in, and homeboy Chewy busts out this like plastic bong. It's just like, dude, really? This is what you bring? He's got it all in a container. Like the fact that he has this bong, this like. It just blew my mind. Like, bro, it's just a plastic fucking bong. Homeboy busts out the bong, and then Lawrence is just like, oh, Lucille, is that you? And then Chewy's just like, oh, you've been cheating, bro. He's like, what? No. It's like, yeah, Lucille and I saw you with a bowl. A bowl. Speaking of a bowl. So anyways, while they're all partying, we have Sammy, who is looking for his sister. He's going door to door. He's like knocking on this one lady's door, and she kind of like sus as fuck. She's like, oh, well, he's like telling her about the sister, and she's like, she ain't missing, she's dead. People around here, they go missing, they don't ever come back. We just want to be left alone, and so does he. So Sammy's just like, who? Another person, oh, I love this part. Another person he ends up visiting is like this kind of like hillbilly dude. I think it's Little Kev from It's Always Sunny. I don't know. That's who he reminded me of. But this hillbilly dude is iconic because we get a hilarious scene later on. I'm fast forwarding a little bit, where we also get the mask introduced with this guy. He's in his barn and he's already like paranoid. I don't know. He's fucking high as shit or something. He's looking around. He thinks he sees somebody under a like piece of cloth, and I think he's got like a bat or a machete. I can't tell. But he goes to pull off the cloth, and he's like about to hit it, and he's all freaked out, but it's just like a mannequin. Now, this dude right here is so ridiculous, guys. This scene right here is just, what? He recognizes this mannequin. I don't remember the name. He calls it by a name, right? And he's like, you know, it's been a while, baby. Yeah, you still look good. You remember that night when you took my virginity? You still so tight. It's like, dude, I did not need that fucking mental image, bro. But right after that, Jason like sneaks up on him, and he ends up like killing him. And right here is where we get Jason finding the mask, because through the whole movie, Jason is rocking the part 2 look with the sack head, which I used to not be too big of a fan of, but I recently come to really enjoy part 2, and I think the sack head look is actually really fucking cool. And especially in this movie, I really enjoyed how they do the sack head look in this one. It looks way cooler than the fucking part 2 one, to be honest. But yeah, the whole time he's rocking the sack head. The dude right before he dies like pulls it off or some shit, and he's like, yo, that shit ain't fucking right. And he gets his throat slit. And as Jason bends down to grab his like sack head, he like sees something right there, and he pulls something, or like some covers over it, and it's the fucking mask, and the lighting and everything just looks so cool. But anyway, Sam ends up at Trent's house, and Trent is not happy because the girl's like, oh, just come on in, you know, his girlfriend. I'm gonna bring this up. Their relationship is so weird, Trent and Jenna. But yeah, Jenna answers the door, and he's like, oh shit, it's you guys. She's like, hey Sammy, you want to come back in? And he's like, you know, the boyfriend, I don't know. She's like, don't worry about him. I don't understand what she was thinking to be. I guess she was trying to be nice, but like, dude, you should have known this was gonna cause a huge issue. And if you were gonna just go with him anyways, you should just left. I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing. But she invites him in, trying to be nice, and Trent walks up like, yeah, what's up, bro? I remember you. What's up, bro? So there's a little back and forth between like fighting over the girl, this and that. So he's like, yeah, you better get the fuck out of here, bro. So his girlfriend, Jenna, ends up leaving with him, right? So they end up like, oh, you want some company? They walk around the forest, and they discover Camp Crystal Lake. We'll get back to that. We have another couple that's with everybody else. They go down to the lake and they end up taking the boat against Trent's orders, because I love that Trent was like, nobody drives that boat but me. The dude's like, yeah, bro, aye, captain. And what does the dude do? Take the boat out with his girlfriend. I fucking love that. So he's driving the boat. She's over here like holding on. I forgot what it's called, but it's when like they're holding onto a rope. You know, they're like on a board, a surfboard or something. Wakeboarding. I don't freaking know. I'm sorry. This is a great little double kill because she ends up falling. You know, she's waiting for him to come pick her up. And he's just like, whoa, driving the boat. Just imagine having the most amount of fun you can possibly have. And then all of a sudden just complete black. You know, because you die. Because he gets an arrow right to the fucking head, dude. And then his body falls forward. And he ends up accelerating while he's going to pick up the girl. And fucking just bumps her in the head. I don't know why. This scene always cracks me up. So then the girl ends up noticing that Jason's like right over there in the distance. He tries to hide under a dock. And Jason is right there. He's walking back and forth. She thinks she's okay. And all of a sudden she just gets a knife through the head. And it picks her up. And you just see like a full frontal shot, dude. Also, there's a lot of nudity in this movie. Yes, dude. Look, according to Joe Bob, you need to have the 3 B's. Blood, breasts, and beast. Beast being Jason. Breast being all the girls. Blood being Jason killing everybody. So anyways, like I was saying, Sammy and Jenna are walking around and they end up finding the GPS system that they were using from the first group of people. And they come across Camp Crystal Lake, which is abandoned. And they're looking around, you know, they're being nosy just like the first group of people, just like Sammy's sister was being nosy. And Jason ends up attacking them, but they end up escaping. And they head back to Trent. Okay, I mentioned this earlier about Jenna's relationship to her boyfriend Trent in the movie, which is a little confusing because, okay, they are together. It is official. They are like officially dating, right? It is clear from like the get-go. They even have like a moment when it's just them two outside, this and that. When she leaves with Sammy, everybody else is at the party, chilling, drinking, getting drunk. And there's also that one girl there who is single, and her name is Bree. And she gets a fuck. I feel so bad for her later on. She gets a really messed up death scene. But yeah, I just don't understand this because they end up hooking up, right? They end up fucking, and thankfully, because we get one of the greatest lines in Friday the 13th history. While they're hooking up, dude, he's just like so impressed by this chick's tits. And he just says the most outrageous line.
Your tits are stupendous.
And I watched the Camp Crystal Lake documentaries, and when they were talking about this, he said he did not want to say this, and the producers or the writers were like, no, it's gonna be funny, don't worry. But we get the iconic line. So anyways, so they're hooking up, right? Sammy and Jenna, his girlfriend, Trent's girlfriend, you know, Trent, the guy hooking up fucking the other chick right now in the room. Sammy and Jenna come back in and they're like, oh, there's a killer outside. And they're like, oh, where's everybody? And Lawrence is like, you know, I don't know. The other couple went to the lake and they haven't been back since. And she's like, oh, where's Trent? Where's Bree? And he's like, well, they're in the room. And like she runs into the room, the door's locked. There's a do not disturb sign. There's music just blasting. You can pretty much hear what they're doing, okay? So she's like, Trent, open up, you know, because she's freaking out. And he's just, I'm positive that he knows it's her, but he doesn't give a fuck, dude. He does not care. He's like screwing, and he's like, oh, fuck them. They're just joking. Ignore her. The fact that he says ignore her just like throws me off. Like, wow, bro, really? So anyways, they end up finishing, and Jason cuts out the lights, which prompts Trent and Bree to step out of the room. And again, the audacity of Trent is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's mad because he instantly sees Sammy in the house. Sammy's just like, do you have a cell phone? We need to call the cops. So he's like, what the fuck's he doing here? And this fool has the nerve. Well, Jenna's trying to tell him what the hell's going on. Like, there's a killer outside. And this fool is thinking like, dude, what the fuck? You've been out for 8 hours with this guy fucking all over the woods? Like, mad as hell, as he was just fucking some other girl. I don't get that. It's the weird, this dude is insane to me. Right before all this happened, I believe Chewie ended up breaking Trent's father's chair. So Chewie heads out to the tool shed, and he ends up getting killed by Jason in such a gnarly way. Like, the way Jason just stabs him through the neck, and like with a screwdriver, I believe. But you see all this blood gushing out and everything. And I remember watching the documentary about it. He said that he was like trying to like inhaled through his nose at the same time, which made it the effect just look so much better. That is dedication, bro. That dude, Andrew Yu is awesome. He ends up dying out in the tool shed by himself, and then his homeboy Lawrence was like, no, I gotta go out there. You know, homie's still out there. And I feel bad for Lawrence, dude. He, you know what, he kicks Jason's ass a little bit. He puts up a good fight, but as he's running away, dude, he just gets it looks so good too. I'm not gonna lie. It looks so good, this kill. Double fucking hand throws it, dude. And then he ends up like picking him up and just dropping him through the back. And the axe just comes all the way out through the chest, dude. Now I want to go ahead and talk about Bree's death because she's the next person to get got. She ends up running upstairs because Trent just took off upstairs without saying anything. I think he went to go get a gun. And she's like in the bathroom. I don't know what she's doing. She's like walking up to the curtain and she's like gonna pull it away. And it's almost gonna do that trick where that cliche where there's somebody behind the curtain, right? So as she pulls it, the angle switches from in front of her and there's nobody in the bathroom, but then behind her is fucking Jason, dude. And he like pickles. He like pickers. I can't talk. He picks her up, and I don't know if he strangles her, but he ends up like pinning her to the wall. There's like some antlers right there, and he just, boom, pins her right there. So a few minutes later, Trent has the gun, and he is just trigger happy, nervous, dude. Even Sammy's like, what the fuck are you doing? Give me the gun. Because every little noise, Trent like shoots for, right? So I think her body ends up, she might not even have been dead yet, to be honest, because she just got pinned, who knows? But her body falls off the antlers, and like you hear the noise come from the bathroom, and Trent just like turns around and just shoots through the door. And then he takes a look to see, you know, what happened. And he sees her dead body. He, in his mind, he's like, oh fuck, I just killed her. Piece of fucking shit, dude. He just like, he shuts the door and he's like, oh, he got Bree. We got to get out of here. He gets it good though. Fuck him. So they're all trying to escape. Also, we get a great scream from Trent. They're all trying to escape. And I think Jason like lunges Bree's body out the window and it falls onto the roof of the car, causing Trent to just wail like a fucking G, dude. He gets out the car. He starts running. He makes it to the road. And now we get a great send-off for him, okay? And a car pulls over. He's very skeptical at first. He's not entirely sure what's going on with this car. And you see like this old guy like stick his head out like, you know, hurry up, motherfucker. But then Jason catches up to the two, fucking him to the truck and just drives away with like his Trent's body just being dragged, dude. It was beautiful. They were able to call the cops earlier. We get a really good kill when the cop shows up, and he's like, he ends up getting like a fucking knife or an arrow, like just jabs straight through his eye, through the wall. It was actually really cool. Okay, so at this point in the movie, Jenna and Sammy have escaped. They had made their way back to the camp because while they were running, they like tripped over some string, and I don't know, Sammy just put 2 and 2 together. So he went back to Camp Crystal Lake and they end up finding the sister. Now, again, I know this whole movie's have been spoilers, but I really feel like I need to put a spoiler right here because when I first rewatched this, my jaw dropped. I'm not joking. My jaw dropped. So Sammy and Jenna end up in Jason's like underground lair. He's got tunnels all throughout the camp, which is a good explanation as to why it seems like he can appear everywhere like really quick because he's just got like tunnel system. That's what I really enjoyed about this Jason. It was a very grounded and almost good explanation as to why he does how he can do a lot of the stuff he does. So anyways, they find the sister down there. Spoiler, they find the sister down there, right? They free her. They're running out of the fucking tunnels. And it's one of those moments where like the sister makes it through something first and then Sammy is second. So then Jenna, he's like, okay, come on. She's the last person to walk through this one area. And all of a sudden, dude, she just gets macheted right through the chest. It was just, I don't know. I was just so invested at this point in the movie. I was just, what the fuck, bro? So after this, it becomes just chase game with Sammy and his sister running away from Jason. It all ends at the barn that Sammy was at earlier with that one hillbilly dude, okay? There's like this moment, I'll say this right now too. I wasn't too happy with how it ended overall. Like, and I'll get to that right now, especially with the final moment of the movie. But they wanted to leave it open-ended. So again, spoiler. They're at this barn, and Sammy's having a one-on-one with Jason. I think he's getting his fucking ass kicked too. And out of nowhere, the sister comes. She's like, Jason. And she pulls up the locket, and it's supposed to be like the symbol of like Jason's love for his mom. So when he sees that, you know, it's just like part 2. This is like the part 2 thing where Jenny puts on the sweater, and she's just like, Jason, I am your mother. So she's like, Jason, you know, she's like trying to talk him down, and it stalls him long enough for Sammy to just tie his neck around with a chain, and it ends up like pulling him back into like this like type of like wood chipper. Now this is where I'm disappointed, because I guess he ends up like just suffocating. Like, it pulls him all the way back, and you see it, and like it should have like just annihilated him, dude. But they wanted to leave it open-ended, I guess, because it just like kind of strangles him, and you get this like stupid little line from the sister. She kind of just gives him the final blow with a machete and stabs him, and she's like, say hi to mommy in hell. I'm like, no, what? This whole movie was fire. What happened? And then we get the fucking end scene again. I guess they wanted to leave it open-ended. In my opinion, his head should have been like demolished by the wood chipper thing. But at the end of the movie, they're like on a dock, and they decide, for whatever reason, they decide to just dump the body in the fucking lake. Like, I don't understand why not. Leave him tied up, chain his ass up even more, go get cops and bring him back. So yeah, they drop him, his body falls in the lake, and then you get him, like, you get the moment where everything's gonna be fine, and he just comes from out of the dock, and he like grabbing the sister, and it just ends right there, dude. Was it perfect? No. Was it a good remake? In my opinion, yes it was. I think it did a good job of not executing the movie itself, but it did a good job and kind of combining all those movies and taking some elements, also adding a fresh take on Jason, and just meshing it into a decent movie. Like, dude, this is a movie where you just turn off your brain. I can understand people. I guarantee you, people are just gonna get mad at the fact that I even made a video bringing positivity to this movie. Anyways, I've been going on for way too long, dude. Let me know what you guys thought. I really enjoyed this remake, though. I'll say this right now. Another one I really enjoy a lot is part 5. Part 5 is fucking fire, dude. It is a filthy, dirty fucking Friday the 13th movie, and it's got one of the highest kill count. Plus we got these damn enchiladas. Ooh baby, ooh baby. There's a lot of great stuff that coming at 5. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. Happy Friday the 13th. Also, happy the last drive-in day. Today's May 13th, 2022. The Last Drive-In comes on tonight on Shudder. I'll be there. I hope you will too. I will see everybody on Twitter. Anyways, happy spookies.